continue to the next speaker. This is the last for the evening. She is working on her level 2 of Pathway, Visionary Communication Path. She is an entrepreneur who wears many hats, including the hat of tutor for students of all ages, unless they study math at a higher level more than Algebra 2, because she said that's hard. Her speech objective is discuss communication style and how my preferred style affect my communication. And her speech title is The Art of Communication. Please help me welcome Miss Kate Morrell.
A wise man named James Humes once said that the art of communication is the language of leadership. If you're not familiar with James Humes, he's still alive, an author and a former presidential speaker. He also was one of the co-authors of the plaque that Apollo 11 left on the moon. The one that said, "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, we came in peace for all mankind." Apparently it took 3 people to come up with that, but I digress. So he is a wise man. He knows a lot of things, and he very specifically said that the art of communication is the language of leadership. So it's no wonder that Toastmasters decided to emphasize communication styles. In part of level 2 in my Pathways journey, some of you may have heard my speech a few weeks ago on leadership styles, and the follow-up project is a speech on communication styles. So for this particular speech, for this particular project, Toastmasters has me take another quiz. And everyone knows, if you heard my last speech, even Vincent knew, that I love personality tests. So giving me this little personality, I'm an otter, by the way. I took it several times just to be sure, but I'm definitely an otter. So I love them so much. So once again, Toastmasters gave me a personality quiz and allowed me to complete it. This time, though, they made it a little bit more simple. There's only 4 communication styles instead of the 8 leadership styles. So I'd like to go through today each of those 4 different communication styles, tell you a little bit about my preferred communication styles, and discuss a little bit the importance of being able to adapt your style into different situations. So let's start with going through the 4. I have them all right here. There's a lot of words. We're going to go through them. Don't worry. A lot of words. It's fine. I'm a teacher. I'll walk you through it. All right. So there's 4 different communication styles. In case you can't tell, I have a lot of colors of Sharpies, and I can show them. The first one is a direct communication style. So with this communication style, people are decisive. They're confident. They're in control. They're motivated by results. They're busy. They like structure in their workplace. Some of the detractors from being the direct style is that they are a little bit demanding. They can come across impatient as well. So this is the direct communication style. And by the way, for those of you who have to complete this project, you're welcome, because I'm giving you a little head start on it. So, direct. The second one is initiating. And initiating communicators are very sociable. They're very enthusiastic. They can come across as gregarious, impulsive, friendly, and sometimes people feel that they talk a bit more than they listen. The third is supportive. Supportive folks are calm, they're sincere, they're steady. They are often very cooperative, and they prefer a work environment without tension, something where we really get to work together. They can sometimes come across as a bit indecisive. And the fourth and final is the analytical. Analytical communicators communicate in a way that's very precise, it's very systematic. They're task-oriented, they're diplomatic, and they're a little bit private, and they can come across as perfectionistic. So that's the quick rundown of the 4 different communication styles. Those of you who know me, anybody have a guess which one I am?
Direct.
Direct. Initiating.
One.
No, Number one, direct. So when I took the quiz, several times, to be sure, I actually was highest on initiating and supportive. Yeah, I'm supportive. Thanks a lot. I only got 1 or 2 on direct, even though I think I do have those skills that I'm able to pull out if I need to. But definitely initiating is the one that I identify with the most, and I think that I've kept in my life a lot. This social enthusiasm, impulsive, friendly. I talk more than I listen. It doesn't matter because this is my time. I don't have to listen. But supportive was a surprise to me, honestly. Not because I don't want to be supportive. I absolutely want to be supportive. But because I'm not always great at that. You know, I do. I talk more than I listen sometimes. And I think it's only the last few years that supportive really started to become part of my communication style. I've been working a lot over the last few years on being an active listener and really improving the way I talk to people and the way that I communicate with them. So I think if I were to have taken this test a few years ago, I probably would have had much more in the direct and much less in the supportive. And to be fair, I only got 1 on analytical, and that was just because I do like solving problems. I am a problem solver, but that's more the puzzle of it and the fun of it than it is being precise and systematic. That doesn't sound like much fun. But as I mentioned, there's lots of different reasons to incorporate the different styles at different times. So when I'm here giving a speech to you, or if I'm serving as the Vice President of Public Relations, or if I'm doing something in an official capacity, yeah, my direct communication style is going to come out a lot more. In larger groups, I like to take command. I do like to lead. So that comes out. I do come across demanding and impatient sometimes. But most of the time, when I'm in smaller group settings, or if I'm facilitating, and what I'm choosing to focus on as a leader would be more of these initiating and supportive styles, And the analytical style, of course, can be useful as well in certain areas. So I have 3 recommendations. Once you figure out what your preferred style is, just know that you need to adapt it. So there's 3 different things that you might need to think about when you're adapting your styles. Number 1 is knowing your strengths, right? Which one do you usually prefer? Which ones are you best at? Which ones are your weaknesses? The second would be knowing your objective, right? If you're trying to get something done, if you have a project that's a deadline on Friday, perhaps the analytical style and the direct style might be best for you. So knowing your objective, if you're trying to repair a team and work together in a way where maybe trust has been broken, in that case, maybe a supportive approach would be better. So know your strengths, know your objective, and know your audience. You may not know everyone's individual preferences, but you'll kind of know as a general whole how they might like to be communicated to. Because it's very important. There's another quote by, well, some attribute it to Confucius, but I also think that anytime there's anything that sounds Chinese, they just attribute it to Confucius sometimes. But, because I saw different things, whether it was Confucius or a Chinese proverb. But they say, as the water shapes itself to the vessel that contains it, so a wise person adapts themselves to the circumstances.